am born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
We live in Redwood City, California.
I've lived in San Francisco for 12 years.
Here we go. I remember on September 9th, it was the day when the sun never came out. It was like pre-dawn all day.
The firestorms this summer were unlike anything I've ever seen in my life.
The sky was dark orange. The house was dark during the day.
As a person who spent the last 2 weeks inside my home in San Francisco because the air quality was too bad to get out, I think people should understand that the things that they take for granted are at risk.
We've lived here for decades and we didn't have fires like this back when we were kids.
I haven't even seen the clips yet and I'm nervous.
Got to watch some clips of Donald Trump talking.
Here we go.
Starting clip one.
Starting again in California. I said, you got to clean your floors, you got to clean your forests. They have many, many years of leaves and broken trees.
Oh my God.
And they're like so flammable. You touch them and it goes up. I've been telling them this now for 3 years.
I used to work in construction, and I do understand the importance of keeping our waterways clean and minimizing what you do to the earth. Anybody who's flown in an airplane over California understands how vast it is, and it would take an army, years and years to do what they're talking about.
Majority of the land that's burning right now is federal land. If you're so into cleaning floors, go clean your own floors.
You got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have a much different, we're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem.
We need finish rakes, that's what we need.
Trump says we should look to other countries to be better, but other countries actually invest in renewable energy.
And if he really thinks that there's something that could be done, he's the president. He's got the power of the federal government.
So I think California ought to get their act together and clean up their forests and manage their forests, because it's disgraceful.
You're disgraceful.
Stop treating us like enemies all the time just because you don't like our, the political party California leans into.
Are you going to work with the state of California and the other western states that are having forest fire problems?
If we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
That was brilliant.
It'll start getting cooler.
That was idiotic.
You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows, actually.
I don't think science knows, actually. Science knows. You can't fool Mother Nature.
We can't rely on the science that we like and ignore the science that we don't like.
This forest management official is being very cooperative. He's following Trump's complaints about vegetation management.
We want to work with you. Let's partner on this. Let's look at the science. And then Trump, idiot in chief, it's like, it's going to get cooler. You just watch.
He just doesn't get it. He's saying it's going to get colder, but it's not. Every single trend and projection shows it's getting warmer and warmer.
I feel really angry about that statement. He hasn't lived through not being able to go outside because the air is so bad. He probably never lived through it looking like Armageddon outside.
All of this with the global warming and a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay? It's a hoax.
I've seen with my own eyes the pictures of the polar ice caps going from one size to another. That's no hoax. That's just fact.
I'm not denying climate change.
Oh my God, what a hypocrite.
But it could very well go back. We're talking about over millions of years. They say that we had hurricanes that were far worse.
What about the scientists who say it's worse than ever?
You'd have to show me the scientists, because they have a very big political agenda.
Scientists do not have a political agenda.
The skies are not going to clean themselves of the emissions and the smoke.
The whole reason why my generation is so fired up and upset is because we know that we're at a tipping point. And if we don't take action now, the effects will be irreversible.
The scientists are not his friends because they deal with facts and they deal with reality.
I am numb to being shocked by this president.
Joe Biden's clean energy plan not only involves fixing the environmental problems, but also it's an employment plan.
I'm voting for Joe and Kamala because they believe in science.
I believe Joe Biden is the leader that we need to bring all Americans together and provide for future generations.
Joe Biden understands that you can mitigate climate change and grow the economy.
When our generation goes and votes, hopefully in record high numbers, We need to have climate at the top of our minds.
We're all in this planet together, and we need a leader who's going to unite us so we can solve the climate issues.